cozy friends, welcome back to Morgan Unraveled. My name is Morgan. Today we are going to be unraveling our move abroad. Hello from Australia. I am in Canberra right now in our cozy little furnished townhome that I am so thankful we had waiting for us here. It can't be understated how much we needed this cozy, safe place to land. Literally, after 40 hours of flying to get here from Virginia in the USA. And it's actually been almost 2 weeks now since we landed. Today, 2 weeks ago, we were taking off. Right now, from there, we went to Dallas and then flew to Sydney, and then from Sydney to Canberra, just a little connecting flight. The hardest part of all of that was the layover in Sydney, which my mother-in-law totally warned me about. She's the VIP for showing up and watching Arthur during the big move. I'm so thankful that we had her help and the help of our friends there in Virginia that rallied around us and carried all of our heavy furniture. I am just so thankful for the support system we have and that we were able to make this happen. It's so surreal that we are here. It's such a beautiful view. The first few days we were here, we actually joked oh, is it just always sunny and beautiful in Australia? And then the torrential downpour began. It's been raining for a week, but it's autumnal. It's so beautiful. All the leaves are changing colors. We have a big, beautiful view of 4 window doors in our living room. It's the first time we've had an open concept living space with so much natural light. I literally just look out this window all day long. It's actually surreal that we're living in Australia right now. But let's rewind back to the beginning. Why are we here? Why did we move to Australia? How did we move to Australia? For starters, my husband was in the military for the past 8 years, and we have been eagerly awaiting him getting out so we could move on to the next chapter of our life. It's been a great opportunity for us, but we knew it wasn't going to be his career forever. I was not cut out for the military spouse life. This opportunity literally opened up the same day he began his job hunt. He applied for it because it was his exact qualifications, and they got back to him. And honestly, at first I was like, babe, you really need to follow up on some of the other opportunities. I can't see this going anywhere. We're not going to move to Australia. Let's just focus on realistic balancing our expectations. But he kept following up on it along with some other opportunities. He got a job offer. At the same time, he got a job offer that was very comparable but remote in the US. Should we do the safe option? We knew if we stayed in the States, we were probably still gonna move. But we thought if not now, when? Because my son is almost 2 and he's not in school yet. Doing this kind of move with a toddler was so scary, but we didn't travel much before. Even though my husband was military, we didn't get to see the world. We didn't get to do very much. We were honestly just kind of surviving because I think we were both, struggling mentally, especially with the military life. So even though we moved around a few places, we didn't experience those places either. We've just had this bug in the past year of just really wanting to travel, wanting to see things, wanting to experience life. So we thought about it and we were let's make it happen. We worked out a timeline of what would need to happen in time to be able to move here by April so that he could start this project. So he's kind of working for an Australian and an American company that are working together. It's a really amazing opportunity. They were able to pay for our flights, pay for a lot of the expenses that would be involved with the visa process, and also expediting that. In December, very early December, when he accepted the job offer, we applied for passports, which we didn't even have yet. As soon as we got those, we applied for our visas, and we were working on selling our house to some friends who backed out on us last minute in late January. The day we woke up to the message that our buyers were backing out on our house, we also woke up to COVID symptoms. It was a nightmare. We had to immediately go on the market. We ran to our neighbor who's a realtor, thank God, and got our house on the market. And when I look back on this experience of this move, I feel like things simultaneously all fell apart, but also all fell together when they needed to. I think that we were really tested as individuals, and we've learned so much through making this happen. As such an anxious person, the fact that I have been able to not only survive this, but really get through and with for the most part, the best attitude I could. I'm just really proud of myself. I'm proud of my husband and I as a team, and I'm so proud of my son for literally being such a troop. Then we started showing our house, which was a lot, but once we had an offer, we were able to start the whirlwind of packing up our 3-bedroom house to fit into a 10 by 15 storage unit. Because we were not bringing all of our things to Australia. We are only here for 12 months to 18 months. It depends on how this project goes, but we had to downsize significantly. I started listing everything on Marketplace that I knew we didn't want when we came home and boxing up our whole life. Anything that needed to come with us to Australia needed to fit into a couple suitcases. We had to really be minimal on what was necessary, and that included my yarn. That is something I'm still coping with, but don't worry, they have yarn shops here. I'm okay. And then moving day came. At this point, it was the end of March. We needed to sell our car that last week because we didn't want to be in a rental for a long time. We tried to play hardball. They played hardball right back, but we ended up around a number we were comfortable with, which sucks because we thought we were investing in a car for our family when we bought it, or literally a year ago. So it really sucked to see that go, but I think we did the best we could with the knowledge we had at the time, and we will get a nice car when we return to the States. And we got a U-Haul, and our friends came over. My mother-in-law was in town. She helped with Arthur. They watched a whole lot of Bluey, and we got our house emptied out. And our plan from there was to stay in an Airbnb for my husband's birthday, which was the literal day before our flight. But I must have not done enough research on those reviews for that Airbnb. My son broke out in hives. The place was kind of grimy. Like, there were stains on the couch. I don't even want to know what those were. I was really itchy, but like once my son was breaking out in hives, I was like, we are not staying 2 nights in this place. Like, we have to get through the night however we can. We took turns being up rocking him so that he didn't have to lay on the sheets or the couch. We got a refund for the second night, thank God, but like honestly I feel like I should report that place. Like, was it bed bugs? We don't know. Like, it was honestly terrifying. So we went back to our house and we camped until our flights on the Tuesday. So I guess next we should talk about flying from Virginia to Australia. We were taking off out of Norfolk, Virginia, and the most special thing I think about that day is when we were on our way to the airport, we saw a bald eagle. It was kind of close to it, like I think it was eating something, but it was perched right there beside the road, and I've never seen a bald eagle up that close. And like, I think it was like such a nice sign from the universe to see a bald eagle on your last day in the United States for a while. We got our last Chick-fil-A. We got to the airport, got through TSA. Once we landed in Dallas, we were trying to do all the things we would want to have done if we weren't going to be able to access them for 17 hours. So we changed. So we did a change of outfit, we brushed our teeth, and within no time we were boarding. Because we have a toddler, we were able to pre-board, which is nice, but honestly that just meant we sat in the same seats for an extra hour. I totally had a panic attack on that flight at the very beginning because the lady in front of Arthur turned around and told me if he's gonna kick the seat, which he wasn't. I was literally pulling on the thing I was trying to set up for him to be able to like lay out. She's like,
if he's gonna kick the seat, he can sit in the middle. There's no one sitting there.
And I'm sitting here like, okay, can you sit in the middle? Don't tell my son where to sit. It was honestly so rude. When the flight attendant came, he told me I had to take the hammock down. And so I started crying because I'm like, Arthur's not gonna be comfortable for the next 17 hours of this flight. So that was something we had to cope with. But it honestly was fine. He laid like across my husband and I. We did have a third seat. We paid for him to have a third, this company paid for us to have a third seat so that he wasn't literally in our laps with a stranger next to us for 17 hours. That went as well as it could have. I mean, he pretty much slept for 10 hours of the 17-hour flight. Like, he woke up multiple times and we'd comfort him back to sleep, but it went pretty well, especially for the expectations being on the floor for us to be on a plane in the same place for that long. And honestly, the flight couldn't have gone better. I mean, praise be to Qantas. They made it the most comfortable, positive experience they could have. The people were so polite. We were already so obsessed with the Australian accents surrounding us. From what I'm gathering, Australians are just like really nice, besides the lady sitting in front of Arthur. She's like the one exception to the rule. Everyone we have met has just wowed us with like the kindness. And I'll get to that more because we land in Sydney and we have an 8-hour layover. We thought it would take a lot longer in customs to get through, but it didn't take any time at all. So we just had like 7 hours left to shuttle over to domestic terminal and then sit for like 6 hours. So we got coffee, we played with Arthur for a long time, and then he's like completely missed a nap at this point. He's been running himself ragged and he's running on fumes. So he's crying a lot. He's wanting to just run and run and run because he doesn't know what to even do with his body at this point. And we're exhausted. They come on the speaker saying that our flight has been delayed. I literally just broke down in tears at this point because I was just so ready to be at our home, like our new home. I was so ready to just freaking take a nap, take a shower, have Arthur take a nap, because if we could just get on the plane, Arthur always fell asleep as soon as the plane took off. So I knew if we could just get on the plane, he would nap. In that moment, my husband had to take Arthur away because Arthur was just screaming and crying. The other passengers needed to be able to hear the announcement, and I just was sobbing. I feel like a woman put her arm on my shoulder and asked if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, it's just been a long few days of getting here, and we just want to get where we're going. And there's like at this point 4 or 5 moms around me that are just like telling me like they've all been where I am, that I'm doing the best I can, and they were just so kind. Like, I have never felt so supported and understood as a mother as in that moment. It was honestly the most human experience I've had. As like, it's just so special to be surrounded by other moms that know exactly how you're feeling, how overwhelmed, how burnt out, and how much you love your kid, and you're just doing the best you can. One of them gave me her number, and I'm so thankful that I had that experience and had those wonderful women around me. It made me feel so connected to motherhood and mothers. And like, honestly, that has just kind of been our experience being here. I'm just witnessing people be kind to one another and see each other as humans and not just a number or a person in their way on the way to what they're doing. But once we got on the plane to Canberra, it was a very short flight. We got here, we got our rental car. I figured out how to install a car seat, and then we had to left-hand drive. My husband was very excited about this, but it was stressful. He's doing amazing. He really, really is. It scares the crap out of me. I'm still waiting to see a kangaroo. I don't know when they are going to come out to see me. I hear that they are kind of similar to deer here, except maybe not as skittish, in that they like run into the roads and you like need to watch out for them because they cause accidents. I don't want them to run in front of me, but I do want to see one just bouncing along the side of the road. And I'm like, I've been here for 2 weeks, where are they? We're hoping to go to a zoo soon and see all the really cool animals and know what the birds are, because there are so many like crazy birds here. The sounds are so different from the birds here than in America. I accidentally ordered a whole kilogram of ham. I was trying to order ham and I'm like, I'll take a pound, and he's like, a kilo? And I'm like, sure. And that was a lot of ham. So we're still working on that. I think the most interesting thing since we've been here has been not only the time zone difference and navigating, trying to talk to our families, but the fact that it is autumn here in April. I don't know if you can hear those birds. The leaves are all changing colors, and I am an autumn girly through and through. So it's really exciting. But it is kind of disappointing that the days are getting shorter because we just came out of that and we're going into spring in America. So it's a huge difference. I tried to do a Q&A on Instagram, and I swear I took a screenshot of the questions, but I literally don't know where it went. I know somebody asked if I thought Arthur was gonna end up with an Australian accent, and I really hope so. I mean, we already met some friends at the playground that's right next to our townhome, which is so amazing. Like, I can't believe that all the things we said, like, oh, it would be ideal if we could get a tub because Arthur needs baths, but we'll figure it out, in the sink if not. It would be amazing if we had AC, and most places here don't, but this place does. It would be amazing if we found a furnished place, and we did. And it would be amazing if there was a park nearby so that I could walk him there while Tyler goes to work. And there's literally a playground right down the street with a sidewalk right to it. I'm obsessed. We went down to the playground and Arthur met a friend his age and the older sibling, which is so fun. I can't wait to run into them again. It's really cool to just be mingling with Australians. I think they think it's funny when I say things like y'all, but I really hope in interacting with other kids with Australian accents, or in also just like he already watches Bluey, things like that. He's not going to be in school while we're here, but I do hope he says some words with some sort of a little bit of an accent. Louise from the other side of Australia, have you tried Vegemite? And I bought some, but I haven't yet. I think I'm gonna do it like on toast because I want to give it a fair shake, but I don't expect myself to really like it. It doesn't smell that great. Now that I think about it, I probably should have only put this on one little corner because I'm probably not gonna eat all of this. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, here goes nothing. No, it's so salty. I can't believe people like this. It's so salty. Oh, the aftertaste is worse. That's not good. I need water. That's not very good. It tastes like feet. Not that I know what feet is. Pure salt and yeast. Yeah, yeast. That's exactly what it tastes like. Yeast is like the first ingredient. 0 out of 10. I hear that the hazing for becoming an Australian citizen, or at least the joke about it, is like, if you can eat Vegemite without grimacing, then you can become an Australian citizen. I don't think I will ever be. I don't think I'll ever be crowned an Australian citizen at this rate because I was not a fan. Shout out to Louise. I really want to know if you really eat this stuff. I'm probably gonna go put some peanut butter on the other side of this toast. I'm definitely gonna make my husband try this. We went to a seafood place and I got food poisoning, so here's to hoping Vegemite doesn't make me sick. I definitely want to do a follow-up to this video with more questions and answers, so drop down below any questions you have about my move abroad or what it's like here in Australia, living here as an American. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are having a very cozy week.